The king breaks the record.
The fucking king, cuz.
Tuesday, February 7th, LeBron James broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's almost 40-year all-time scoring record in the NBA. And I know you think that we're going to talk about the GOAT debate. Not happening today, at least. We're going to talk about. Oh, here we go. So we're going to talk about the letter that Kareem penned after LeBron broke his record, and talk about the relationship that these two have or don't have, and how Kareem expressing these feelings, how he actually feels about LeBron. So, Sticks, what did you gather from Kareem and this whole situation with him and LeBron with this letter that he wrote?
It was a couple of different angles that Kareem came from in that letter that he wrote, but I think it was more so a response to LeBron and the media than it was necessarily like I don't want to call it an apology, but I just wanted he was like responding to people who thought he was salty about the shit, basically. Mm-hmm. So I felt like it was very heartfelt because he touched on a couple of things as far as his relationship with Magic Johnson, his relationship with LeBron James, and his relationship with the record itself. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, of course as far as LeBron James is concerned, I think people coming into the season knew that it was going to be broken anyway, because he only needed what, like 1,000 points coming into the season. I can't remember exactly how many he needed, but whenever he hit that fader in the third quarter, it seemed like the world stopped, because I watched the whole game, and the reason why some of the reason why people thought he was salty is because whenever they panned to Kareem's face, whenever he hit the jumper, he was just kind of still faced like, yeah. But you gotta understand, the man is 75 years old. Like, right. Kareem is 75 years old, bro. Like, probably a little bit older. How old is Kareem? How old is he?
You're right, 75.
He's 75 years old. So it's like when he set the record, he was 37 in 84. That's whenever LeBron was born. And LeBron is 37, 38 now. So he about 76. So it's like you can't expect. I mean, some people at 76 are still spry and active and still got a lot of energy, but I don't think Kareem has ever been that person. Like, looking at him back in the day when he was playing, he was kind of like Tim Duncan, like kind of like he was a businessman on the court. Like he didn't really speak much and really talk much junk, even though people do say he was one of the best trash talkers in the game. But he wasn't really that. He wasn't that person. He's not he's not extroverted really at all, honestly. Yeah. Now. But when they panned to his face after LeBron hit that jumper, he was kind of just still faced. Like, he was clapping, just cool, all right, But that's just who Kareem is. He wasn't salty. He was happy for LeBron. He came onto the court, gave him the ball, and was like, "Yeah, so you the man now." This at the third, they dapped up, had a little conversation, but that's never been Kareem's demeanor, right? For him to be super excited about something unless he's participating and he's winning. So, but I think his reaction, his letter was very heartfelt. Like, he wished they had a better relationship with each other. He addressed Magic and saying that he thought he was going to be salty about it too. And he was like, "Nah, bro, you wrong." So I thought it was very heartfelt. What you think?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to feel about this situation. And the reason I don't know how to feel about it is because I too, like you, feel like the letter was heartfelt. It was well written. And I think Kareem understood that this situation needed him to interject his voice into it and to give his opinion. But I 100% agree. I 100% think that he feels some type of way about LeBron breaking his record. Maybe not about LeBron per se, and nothing personally about LeBron he doesn't like. But I think the record, he feels some type of way. I mean, that's nature. That's human nature, right? Anytime you set a precedent, while you want people to kind of live up to that expectations or get close to what you did, you never really want anybody to go above you. And so
Agreed.
So I feel like he feels some type of way. He might not feel too much about it, but he definitely felt some type of way. And like you mentioned, he mentioned in the article, he mentioned how Magic Johnson, who is one of his long-standing friends,
40-year-old friend, man, yeah,
right. He
40-year-long.
He mentioned how Magic says that he knows that Kareem feels salty, I tend to think your friends, especially a long-standing friend, knows who you truly are, no matter how you think you portray yourself or not. They know mostly what your feelings are. Like if I said one thing out in public, and then you knowing me how I am, you go tell somebody, nah, that ain't D'Lo, or yeah, D'Lo
Mm-hmm.
really meant that.
Mm-hmm.
Then for me, I'm like, well, damn, do I really? Is that really how I act? I mean, so I say that because I think Magic really knows who Kareem is. They might
Mm-hmm.
not have the friendship that they had when they were playing together, but
Right.
if if Kareem goes so much as to say Magic is one of his long-standing friends, along with Michael Cooper, and he mentioned somebody else in this article, then that means him and Magic have some type of a good relationship. So I think Magic really knows him the best. Um, but I also feel like in this article, Kareem, Kareem gave his voice, and what he meant in this article really had some legs because of how he took accountability for the relationship that him and LeBron don't have. And
Mm-hmm.
so he says in the article, when he was talking about his shortcomings as a person. He said, "By nature, I have never been a chummy, reach out kind of guy,
Mm-hmm.
as the media is always quick to point out. I'm quiet, shy, and am such a devoted homebody that you think I am agoraphobic or I have agoraphobia.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like to read, watch TV, listen to jazz. That's pretty much it. For the past 15 years, my focus has been less on forming new relationships than on nurturing my old friendships with people like Magic, Michael Cooper, and Jerry West, and
Mm-hmm.
so on. I think the main reason that I never formed a bond with LeBron, again, entirely my fault, is simply our age difference. That's a valid point.
Yeah.
Um, I established my scoring record in 1984, the year LeBron was born. When he started to make a name for himself, I was already pretty removed from the NBA world, except for
Mm-hmm.
certain gala events. I was just like any other fan watching games on my TV in my sweatpants while munching on too many unhealthy snacks. The
Mm-hmm.
disconnect is on me.
Yep.
I feel like he gave valid points.
Yep.
He points out and is accountable. And sorry that I'm going on for so long,
No, you're
but he
good.
points out and is accountable for who he is as a person. He's removed from the game. My age difference is my age difference with LeBron. I came up in a different time than he is one of the main reasons. I'm already socially awkward. I
Mm-hmm.
may feel,
Mm-hmm.
and he is who he is now. I'm removed from the game, even though we have so much in common. We're
Yeah.
completely two different people. I never was a person to reach out to anybody. So why should I feel like I need to reach out to him now? Um,
Exactly.
when he's at the top of his game
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not been in the NBA for 30, 40 years now.
Yeah, and he said he also went on to say after that, he did say the disconnect is on me. He said I knew the pressure he was under and maybe could have helped ease them a bit, but I saw that LeBron had a friend and a mentor in Kobe,
Right.
and I was just an empty jersey in the Raptors. I couldn't imagine he'd want to hang out with someone twice his age. How many people do? So I
Right.
can feel that because it's as I got older, I kind of looked up to a lot of my older relatives,
Hmm.
but I looked up to them as like father figures. Like they were like mystical creatures to be. Like I want to be like him. But as
Right.
far as like, and I had a relationship with them because they were family, and I feel like that's what Kareem and LeBron are. They're still family in the game of basketball.
Right.
That's a fraternity of sorts, right?
Hmm.
But to actually like, but the to for me to want to hang out with my older relatives is like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So I wasn't
Right.
necessarily like going and chilling and spending an absorbent amount of time with them, but I looked up to them like for advice and I would talk to them about things like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that's what LeBron did with Kareem. But since
Hmm.
Kobe was a lot closer to his age, as Kareem kind of pointed out, he was only a few years older than LeBron. So that was more of his peer group. And
Mhm.
he had that mentor in Kobe anyway. So Kareem just said, "I'm gonna just sit in the shadows and I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna, I give advice and point on things whenever I'm called upon, whenever I'm asked." But he already has a great that he's looking up to and asking for advice already at Kobe. So why would I step into that? So
Yeah.
I kind of see that. It makes sense to me too. It makes sense to me too.
D-
But
do you think he
yeah,
overthought the situation though? Because me as an overthinker, and I can put myself into Kareem's shoes, right?
hmm
I could see how I can overthink a situation. Oh, my age is going to be an issue. Oh, I listen to jazz music. He listens to hip hop. Oh, he's this type of social activist. I was this type of social activist.
hmm
All these things that could bring them together because they are more alike, I believe, than they are different. Um, oh, he plays for the Lakers. I used to play for the Lakers. But
hmm
do you think he overthought the situation?
I think he did. I think he could. I think he definitely. It's a two-way street. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I think Kareem definitely overthought it, but I also think LeBron has some responsibility in this too. He has to take some accountability as well because if he wanted to have that relationship with Kareem, he could have. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because LeBron was asked about him passing the record. He was like, how do you feel about passing the record and how do you feel about your relationship with Kareem? And he was like, no thoughts and no relationship. And that's all he left it at. And
Yeah.
Kareem said that kind of hurt, like, ouch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
dang, that kind of hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of the fact that that statement hurt him knows it makes you think that he wish he had a little bit more of a relationship with LeBron.
Yeah.
But he did say it was his fault though. So I think he did overthink it. They could have definitely had more connections with the game of basketball, with the social activism,
Hmm.
just the wisdom and the knowledge that he could have given LeBron moving forward and facing the GOAT debate type of thing, because
Yep.
Kareem is also in that too, so to
Yep.
speak. So he could have given him some more advice, but it's definitely an overthink for sure.
Yeah. I also think the media plays a big role in the separation of the two, or the relationship that they didn't have or they don't have. Because I mean, we know how the media is. They will take the smallest soundbite, the smallest whatever, and run with it to create a story, to create a narrative that, if two individuals have never met, but I'm reading in the newspaper or looking online or looking at TV that you said XYZ about me, and I've never met you.
hmm
Now this is how I think you actually think about me. And Joe Button said this in his podcast. Not in the degree of talking about the media. He was really talking about himself being a podcaster. But he was like, being a podcaster is tough because he said, you can F with a dude and say one small thing that may sound like you don't really F with him. And now he looking at you like you don't really fool with him, but you just telling your take on the situation. And that's how the media is, right? If you don't know
hmm
somebody and the media ask them a question about whatever you did, you could like everything they do, but one small thing you don't agree with, you say I don't really agree with that, and now the media writes it and paints it how they want it to write it, and now this person who's never met you is like, oh, that's how you feel about me? All right, cool. I don't want nothing to do with you. So I
But do
think the
you
media
think they
has a
really never met though? Like I think they've met before. Like you said,
what I'm saying,
but they're not. They've been acquainted, but they don't have a friendship. Is what they're trying
right?
to
And
point out. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Okay, I shouldn't have said met, but they
yeah,
they don't have a true relationship, never had a
yeah.
true relationship, and so if I don't have a true relationship with somebody, it's just a hey and hi and
High
bye.
and by.
You know what I mean? But I see that you talking about me in a way that I don't like. All we said is hi and bye. I don't really know how you truly think. Now I gotta just be like, all right, well, make sure I don't say hey to him next time, or make sure so make sure I'm standoffish to him now. So that's
hmm
what I'm saying.
Yeah, when it goes to when he talks about Magic though, and how Magic said he would have been bothered. He was like, but he said he's just gonna chalk it up to 40 years of a friendship because he was like, Magic knows how competitive I am. He played with me for a decade. He said he knows exactly how competitive I am. But he was like, that ain't me today. I'm 75. So the only time I ever think about the record is when someone brings it up. Said I retired from the NBA 34 years ago. For the past 20, I've occupied myself in social activism, my writing career, my family, especially my grandchildren. He said, if I had the choice for another 100 years or spend some he said, if I had the choice of having my scoring record remain intact for another 100 years or spend one afternoon with my grandchildren, he said, I'd be on the floor in seconds, stacking logos and eating Uncrustables. So I think he wanted to get it out. I think
his big ass on the floor eating Uncrustables.
Eating Uncrustables. I got some Uncrustables. It made me laugh when I read that too, because I got some Uncrustables in the refrigerator right now, bro.
100%.
This joint is low key fire. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But see that bears the statement that I honestly didn't think. I don't think he cared, bro. I mean, as competitive as he is, like you said, you don't ever want nobody to be above you. You want to be level or above everybody. If you're competitive, if you have that competitive nature,
right?
So, as competitive as he is, and the dominant figure that he was in the NBA for decades, yes, I agree with you that whenever you see somebody reaching the pinnacle that you at, and then they all of a sudden pass you, you gonna feel some type of way. Yep. To be honest, bro, I don't think Kareem cared. That's just my opinion. I don't think he gave a fuck. To be honest, it was just like, okay, this is another day in basketball. LeBron is now the leading scorer in the NBA history. He probably gonna score 40,000 points plus before his career is over. Nobody gonna be able to touch that motherfucker. Cool. I think it's gonna be crazy me saying this because if you ain't first, you're last. But I don't give a fuck that I don't think Kareem actually cares that he's second now. I don't think he cares. I honestly don't think he cares. The dude is so far. He's lived a great life up to 75 years old now, and he has everything he wants. He's writing, he's into social activism, he's spending time with his family, he's doing everything that he couldn't do when he was in the NBA. And now it's just like, bro, like that record literally lasted for 40 years, bro.
Yeah, I mean the game is so different now too.
And it is.
When he was playing early on, it wasn't a 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the de facto big man, him, Wilt, and Bill Russell. Bill Russell, Wilt, and then him, I should say. And that's not in the greatness category. That's just the time that they were in the league. The time
they came in the league, yeah.
Right. And so, he scored all his points in the paint. LeBron, has scored his points all over the court, 3-point line in the paint, mid-range, stuff like that. So, I mean, the game is just different. So if he doesn't care, I would assume it was because of that regard. The game is different, but that man cares, man. I feel different than you.
I feel
he doesn't care so much to ruin who he is as a person or to let that affect his character. I don't think, but it bothers him that he spent 20 years in the league, and now he is accumulated all those points, and now he's not the all-time leading scorer in the NBA because somebody also spent 20 years in the league, but they came in the league when they were 18. When did he come into the league? Lou Alcindor, who is now no.
He came
Lou Alcindor, who is now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He played at UCLA. I think he played all 4 years.
4 years. Yeah. So he came into the league at 22, and when he retired, he was 42. That's a difference now. That's almost 5 years. LeBron's could basically still play another 4 years. And the way it's looking, he could play at a semi-decent high level for those 4 years and completely shatter this record. So he feels some type of way. You know what I mean? I don't care what nobody say. I know for sure I would feel some type of way, and I'm pretty mild-mannered. So, yeah.
Yeah, the D-Lo be on this couch like, God, pass the record.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't even be at the game. I wouldn't be like Kareem. I would not be at the game.
You wouldn't be
pass the record. You had the cameras in my face at the house. You had the cameras in my face at the house, but I'm not going to the game.
D-Lo ain't going. Ain't showing no support. Fuck that.
Yeah. Nah.
But nah. So. I don't know if I want to say this.
Go ahead, bro.
Because you said we won't have the debate. We ain't gonna have a debate. We're not gonna have a debate.
You want to talk about
this? I don't. But I want to put some things out there, right?
Okay.
I want to put some things out there. LeBron is number one in scoring all time.
Okay.
And he will most likely play for like another 3 years, like you said, maybe 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he gonna go well over 40K. We can both agree to that, right? So
We would hope.
we would hope.
Yeah.
So number 4 in assists.
Mm-hmm.
1,700 more. He can pass Jason Kidd for number 2 all time. I don't think he catching John Stockton. That's like I feel like that's unattainable. I ain't gonna lie.
17 what?
1,700 more assists to pass
Oh,
Jason Kidd for second
1,700.
all time. If he plays 3 more years and keeps the
Yeah.
same 7 assist average, he can reach that.
Okay.
Number 9 in steals.
Mm-hmm.
In them same 3 years, he only needs to average 1 a game to reach top 5 and possibly pass Jordan at top 3. Okay. Number 9 in all for steals. Number 9 in all-time 3-pointers made. But people always say LeBron ain't a shooter. Right? He only needs 213 more 3 balls in these 3 years to reach top 5.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Listen.
That's all I'm saying.
The game is different though. In regards to the 3-point, so like
we also got him back there too. So let's not act like I ain't on both sides.
Cats won't able to freely shoot the 3-pointer back in the day like that. So,
Agreed.
And you know, LeBron as of recently, not really. I mean,
for the better part of his career, he was able. He had the 3-point line available to him.
No, he had it available to him, but to freely shoot it within the offense is what I'm saying. Now, it's Michael Jordan who's going to take Michael Jordan out of the game, right? I understand that, but that just wasn't the game. I mean, we're talking about Reggie Miller is one of the all-time greatest 3-point shooters, and I think he barely shot 4 3-pointers a game. So, and now you got cats shooting 9, 10, 12 3-pointers a game.
And maybe more. Shooting 20 and making 12. Look at Klay Thompson the other day. He made 12. He was 12 or 18.
So that's what I'm saying, man. The game is just different. I don't want to get into that debate right now. I'm not prepared for that.
I just wanted to put some stats out there.
I'm not prepared for that. I mean, you know, I rock with LeBron.
We have a way of getting LeBron into the podcast almost every single episode.
Almost because I mean he's so multifaceted with it, man. Business, basketball.
He's so complex.
There you go. Too complex.
He's too complex.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, my dad would kill me if I said anybody else was, or he would disown me if I said anybody else was better than Michael Jordan.
On,
so I don't want to get in that argument right now. But we'll have it. Oh, we'll definitely have it.
We'll have it eventually. Oh, trust me.
We'll definitely have it. But yeah, so to wrap this all up, I don't really know how to feel about this situation because I feel like Kareem meant everything that he said in the letter, but you know, it's easy to hide behind the pen and the paper and your true actions not really show. Because, you know, as we always say through text, that's not what I mean, man. I mean, I hope you ain't mad at what I just said.
Right.
So you know, it's easy to get hide behind, you know, get things misconstrued through text. But he is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was a meditator and all that stuff coming up. So maybe he does not feel any type of way about LeBron breaking his record. I don't think he has any qualms about LeBron, period. But I do think he feels some type of way about that record being broken.
Yeah, and I'm with D-Lo. If it were me in that situation, I would definitely be salty because I'm super competitive. I don't care if I am 75 years old. I'm still going to be competitive. But just through reading that column that he wrote, it's like I think he took a stance of why make it such a big deal. Why try to make me seem like I'm salty and I'm upset about the record? Why take that shine off of this man's moment whenever this is a tremendous moment in his career and for the game of basketball as a whole? So he was, you know, he just wanted to make sure Magic understood that he won't upset. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm competitive, but I wasn't mad that it was broken. And just like D-Lo said, he might not have been mad, but maybe he felt some type of way like, damn, this motherfucker, I thought that was going to last forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, but then in the same sense, like put some onus on himself to let people know like what type of person that he really is. So that way people don't mistake it in the future. Like, you thought this about me. Let me put this on the table and say, hey, this is the type of person I am. I'm real laid back. I've spent time with my family now. I still watch the game of basketball, but I'm not as engulfed in it as far as like the personal appearances and stuff like that. And actually getting relationships with these newer guys. That's not my type of personality. So just so y'all know, moving forward, don't assume you have this now as a reference to know how I really am.
Right.
But you know, I personally don't think that I don't think he really gave a fuck me personally. But just like you said, if you got a competitive nature, you probably was like, damn, that's my fucking record. I had that for the last almost 40 years. Damn, why you gotta pass it out? So I could dig it. I can see both sides.
Yeah.
For sure.
And if you fooling with that segment, you like what we said. If you don't like what we said, make sure you go to our socials, leave the comment, like, and subscribe.
And also, too, if you want to read the actual letter that we're referencing to, I'll put the link in the description below so that way you can go check it out yourself.
Yep.